Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look at a new device I have added to my collection. And yep, it's indeed a plug and play Megadrive. I've reviewed a couple of these devices and they are coming in so many freaking form factors nowadays. And I already reviewed the blue version of this, and we'll do like a side by side comparison. If you want to, let me know in the comments. But for now, we're going to take a close look at this Megadrive they've released back in the day. So you know, they've released a lot of these devices, but the question always remains, how good is the quality? The form factor is the old school 3-button Sega Megadrive or Genesis controller I personally grew up with. I don't know what the hell happened to this thing. There is like this blue weird paint on it. It's not, it's not going to be original, but we're going to get the A, B and C. The only thing that is different with looking at an original controller, they're going to get the menu button. We do have start. This just says here 16-bit power. But what I think about the D-pad, it is different, absolutely different than the original one. It got more like a cheap click to it, and it got a very long travel. But that's the only thing that we're going to get with the controller. And of course it's red, because I also reviewed the blue one. And both of them will have like their unique set of games. The console itself is basically like this mini Mega Drive or Genesis console. Comes with a power button, there is no reset whatsoever. At the bottom we're going to get ourselves the battery compartment. Let's see, it says here like Sega toys, only need 6 volts. Here we're going to see like where the plus and minus needs to be, because we can basically also use an power supply. So if you want to use this thing like an actual console, we're not with batteries, that is one of those options, but we're going to use the battery compartment. The biggest problem with plug and play is when I'm buying them, there's always like the gamble, are the batteries inside, and not to forget, are they like have been leaking inside. So this one seems to be looking very nice, absolutely new condition. Oh man, I just realized I only got like 3 batteries, so I need to search for the 4th one. Alright, so let's plug in the 3 I'm having here and let's power it on later on, because I'm curious if this thing is going to be working, because I didn't check that out. Alright, so the 4th battery is entered and yep, it still works. Over here we're going to get the power LED. So let's close this thing up and let's plug it into a monitor and just see what are we going to get. So, do you know what we're going to do today? We're going to do full retro mode with this bloody thing, and let's get myself the CRT television. I just want to show this thing on a CRT. That's going to be like freaking epic and old school. Okay, when powering on, we're going to see the logo and even the one from Sega Toys. Bum, 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 bum. And they call this thing the Sega Arcade Legends. So when booting up the machine, basically what we're going to get are 6 different games. And typical Fiery Core engine did have like this thing that you can choose different levels for a certain game, but we don't have it now. You're just going to get the game and we click on start, we're going to boot into it. So let's take a close look at Sonic the Hedgehog number 2. Okay, so for the US watchers, a lot of these games will run very slow, because it's basically PAL system. Oh, my ears are bleeding, that sound! It's such a waste that they just messed it up again. So I must say, like, when you're looking at the visual quality, it's not bad at all. Like, it looks very decent on a CRT. But you can just, when you're hearing the jumping sound, it's barely noticeable. Like, it's so completely out of balance. Oh man. To be honest, I can't take this anymore. It's freaking awful. Alright, so next up let's try Echo the Dolphin. I must say that it was a pretty damn good title, but never got really into it. This Echo the Dolphin, let's say, lineup of games. So I think this game has pretty damn decent soundtracks, but it sounds so awful on this game system. I personally never played it before. So yeah, I must say, like the previous game, that sound was like absolutely like unforgivable. I'm almost dying here. Alright, so when it comes to the visual quality, it's not bad at all, but the audio is such a pain to hear. Like, it's absolutely like completely destroying the real Sega Genesis or Megadrive experience. And that's such a bummer, you know, like they are selling so many of these freaking devices and they come on all kinds of form factors. I can still remember I had this plug and play only console. So it's quite interesting they're still selling this, and damn it, I need to get a different screwdriver. I just want to open it up and just see what is inside this thing. And also kind of weird that there is no way of playing together. There are not a lot of games you can play together, but again, like, when it comes to functionalities, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. Alright, so let's see how this thing looks in the inside. And already mentioned like a couple of times before that I also reviewed the blue version. I think there was also in Street Fighter quite a lot of, let's say, versions out there. Sometimes I managed to pick a couple of these things up. I love to check them out just to see if there's any decent version out there. But again, like plug and plays, oh man, I love plug and play devices. So let's remove these screws. They're like super easy to open up. Alright. Alright, let's put the screwdrivers aside. Let's click it open. Ooh, be very gentle. Because theirs are like some freaking thin wires they are using. Alright, so let's take a close look in here. It's a quite interesting way how they assembled everything. They did use a lot of hot glue. That's a very positive thing. So the cables cannot get loose fairly easy. Here we're going to get the black blob. They even put a freaking sticker on it. Quality control, something like that. So everything indeed have been like freaking hot glued. That is very nice. And of course, you use soldering. Then we're going to get the PCB over here. That's basically for the on and off switch up bottom. Nothing really fancy. You can see the cables go here to the main board. And all the other cables for communication is for the freaking controller goes in here. So when you're looking at this thing, I must say the first thing I'm noticing, like there are a lot of like capacitors on this thing. Something you don't see very often nowadays. So let's see what the number says over here. Here you can see like it defines what kind of model. It's basically running on PAL S or something like that. But there's no way of reading when this thing was made. No date whatsoever. So yeah guys, so this is basically what we're going to get in the inside. It is not like really fancy because it's just a plug and play. But it's still always like very interesting to see what are we going to get. So this chip does have some Asian markings on it, but nothing interesting in English. Just say F440 or something like that. 32 megabytes. I'm guessing this is the ROM they're using, but that's it. Okay guys, so this is what we're going to get with the plug and play Megadrive. I must say, like, I just picked them up, just a review here on the channel to see if I can find any decent ones. There was the red edition. Yeah, and the red edition, I also did a blue version, and I think there was like a lot of these plug and play devices out there. Just want to check them out, just to see if there are like any decent ones out there. Like functionality wise, it looks very nice, and it also works very well when it comes to menu button start like that. There is no quick load, quick save. It's like old school. I say the D-pad feels kind of cheap, but in the end it plays very well. Yeah, with this old school composite cable, it's absolutely garbage, especially when it comes to the audio quality. The video on the CRT is okay, but on LCD it looks also garbage. Yeah, but thank you for watching. Consider subscribing and hit that little bell, becoming the Wicked family. And it would be great to see you in the next video.